Hey guys, this is Nathan, and welcome back to TechNodeFirmaCraft. So there are a lot of changes to the little base area here. It's been a couple of live streams since the last time that I recorded. So what we've got going on here, first off, I'm trying to make some leather. So I've got some soak tides here now, and or at least I'm trying to get some soak tides. But I'm able to do this because in the last live stream we finally found the limestone that we needed to make Flux. So it was a long way to go and get that. If we take a look at the map here, you can see to find the limestone I started going west, and I went almost straight west over to here. And this is where I finally found limestone. This area here is all limestone. And I didn't realize that I was in a limestone area until I got way into the middle of it. And so I started making a quarry here, and you can see I quarried out a fair amount of rock there. But I don't know if I'm going to return to that spot in particular, because like up here closer to the shore, there are some very steep mountainous areas. Actually, I think they might be right about here. That there's huge amounts of exposed rock. So I don't know, I'll just have to see about that when I finally need more rock. But also I have updated the pack to 2.6.1, and in doing so it reset a whole bunch of the quests in the quest book. But as you can see, there's a little bit of change here to the quest book, and I think it looks pretty neat. But if we go in here and take a look, we have, a whole bunch of quests to complete again, and we look in the Stone Age, and most of them are not done now, but there are also a couple of new quests, like this one and this one. I have not seen those, so we'll just have to see. And then we have the salad bar. But we'll just go ahead and start hitting these and see what we can find. So the salad bar, don't drop the bowl. Eating each food category separately is not efficient. By eating salads, you not only combine multiple food groups, you gain saturation and will slow how quickly levels of food groups... what? Not in salad decrease. Okay. To make a salad, you need a food prep surface. Right-click the top of any solid block with a knife to create a food surface. Enter the GUI to make your salad. You can have a food group twice, but each ingredient must be unique. Salads are 20 ounces of food. So we need to make a salad, so we're going to go ahead and come in here to our food prep. We'll grab a couple of bowls, and we'll go over to a salad. We'll drop in a bowl, and we will create a salad. And we might as well create a couple of them. So now let's take a look here. It's not showing it, so can we manually detect this? No. So, that is odd. I have some salads here, but they don't look the same. So let me just take a look here at salad. There is only one salad available. So, well, that's not working for some strange reason. I guess I can try eating a salad and see if that'll do anything. I don't know if this is going to do it, but we'll give it a shot. No. So, I don't know for sure what's going on there with that one, but we'll just continue on. So now back to the stone hoe. So I think we already did this one, so we'll go ahead and just nap ourselves up a stone hoe head and make a hoe here. So the hoe head is very simple. You knock out 3 on one side and then 3 lines, and that'll give you a hoe head. And then we need a stick, and we'll have a hoe. So now if we go back in the quest book, we have that. It's going to give us some rye seeds and a full heart, which I believe we did this before. And then I think we actually want to go with soybeans for the seed because we don't have a lot of soybeans. And as you can see, I have quite a bit of seeds available for when we go into next year's planting. But the other thing is I have become an expert in agriculture, and so now I can see these nutrients, and I'm not sure what those are for, but we also have a whole bunch of saplings that need to get planted. We've got some new berry bushes. We got elderberries, gooseberries, and raspberries. So those will need to be planted, but we're not ready to just yet. I also found some peaches. So yeah, we'll be looking at getting that later on. So now we have the berry bushes. Berry bushes can be found throughout your world. There is no tool or trick to collect them, but they do need to be planted on grass. This task accepts any berry bush. So they wanted a blueberry bush. Well, we can pretty much have anything. So the gooseberry is the one that we have the least of. Blackberries hurt you. And I think what we want to go with, I'm going to go with the strawberry bushes because we don't have any of those yet. So we'll go ahead and grab that. And then we have fruit trees. An important food is fruit. Fruit trees are one of two sources of fruit in TerraFirmaCraft. Unlike normal trees, you get saplings by breaking the side cross branches with an axe or saw. They will regrow. Breaking any other branch will kill the tree. Unlike other saplings, once you place, you can't pick them back up, so place carefully. So they wanted us to have a red apple sapling, and I have not come across the orange yet, so we're going to go ahead and take that one. And understanding food basics was not done before, but okay. So we've got a couple of full hearts. Why did these not stack? I don't know. So we've got 3 hearts. So we'll go ahead and use all of these. That gives us up to 39. And I think somewhere around here, yeah, we've got a couple more hearts here from other quests. So 41 now. So now we've got most everything done here. I don't know why this salad bar isn't working. Might have to talk with Anode Cathode on that one, see if we can figure out what's going on with that. But we're going to get back into the casting age. As you can see, we're 0% completed here once again. So we come back in here and we need to do all of this again. Now this is going to be nice and all, but yeah, it seems a little cheaty to me to have all of this extra stuff. So we need some native copper nuggets. Unfortunately, I don't think I have enough of them. So if we manually detect these, yeah, I'm going to have all 10. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of hunting, find some nuggets laying around, and I suppose I'll just get us back up to where we were, having all of this wood stuff, the things dealing with the quern, and our bronze done. And once I get that done, I will bring you back and we'll look at some new quests now. So, see you in a little bit. So guys, I've done what I can to try to get the quests caught back up, but unfortunately a couple of these are not working for some reason. I don't know what's going on for sure, but the sandwiches quest, the bronze quest, and if we come in here, the salad bar quest are not working. So we'll just have to see if those get fixed in upcoming updates. But we do have the Flux powder. So I was able to make some of that because I found the limestone, and this is going to give us some more flux, a few basalt rocks, and a full heart. So we'll go ahead and grab those. And now that's going to open up the tanning quest. So tanning, first off, we had rawhides. So there are 3 sizes of rawhides. The size of the rawhide depends on the size of the animal. Find one of each. So we needed a small, medium, and large rawhide. I had each of those, so now we have soaking the hides. Place your large hide in a barrel of lime water and seal it. It will turn it into a soaked hide in a few hours. So we needed a large soaked hide for that. Now finally, scrape the hide. Now that your hide is soaked, you will need to place it on top of a horizontal log by right-clicking. You then need to scrape the top of it with a knife using right-click. Once the hide is fully scraped, you can remove it from the leather rack with right-click. You now have a scraped hide. So, we have some logs here. I think those are all facing the wrong direction, though. What I've been doing here, my wolves got injured, and so I push them into this spring and then just leave them down there. And they slowly heal up. But one of them actually died, and what was happening is I had my fire pit lit here, and they would keep walking in the door and walking right into it. So that was a bit unfortunate, but actually here I have another small hide. So if we go into this chest, I have my large hide, my medium hides, and my small hides. So we're going to go ahead and place a log over here. And we'll just grab one of these oak logs that happens to be in my inventory. Nope, didn't want to place it that way. Okay, so now that we've got that placed down, now we can take our large hide. We'll place it on here and grab our knife. And then we can scrape the hide off. And yes, we have to do 16 spots, so we'll just scrape them all off. There we go. So now we have a large scraped hide. So let's see what it says now. So now we have washing off your hide. Okay, the next step is to place the scraped hide in a barrel of fresh water for a few hours. Place it in the barrel and seal. When it is done, you will get a prepared hide. It is best to prepare a barrel of tannin while you are waiting for your hide. Place a log of oak, birch, chestnut, Douglas fir, hickory, maple, or sequoia in a barrel of fresh water and seal. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. I've got a couple of barrels here of regular water. So we will unseal this one and toss in a log and seal that back up. And that's going to give us tannin. And then we will toss in this prepared hide, seal that, and we will get, or scraped hide, and we will get a large prepared hide. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to go ahead and scrape up the rest of these hides. And once I get all of that done, I will bring you back and we will get on to some leather. So I'll be back in just a little bit. So guys, I've got the stuff made up here to continue on with this quest. So we needed to wash the hides in water, and then we get these prepared hides, which these are the small ones. I already have the medium ones in my inventory, as you can see. And so yeah, we just put them in this fresh water and just let them sit. They will use a little bit of fresh water, but yeah, you just gotta let them sit. So we got the washing off your hide. Then we got tannin your hide. The last step is to place the prepared hide in a barrel of tannin for a few hours. When your tannin is done, place the prepared hide in the barrel and seal. When it is done, you will get leather. You craft with leather using a GUI. Right-click with a piece of leather in your hand and a knife in your hotbar to open the crafting GUI. And this makes kind of a napping GUI, just like our rocks and clay and everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and seal that water back up. And here in the tannin barrel, you can see I already have some leather. Now, these 3 pieces came from 1 large hide. So if we throw in 3 medium hides and seal that up, you'll see we'll get 2 times the leather. So this will yield 6 pieces of leather, and these 2 small hides will produce 2 leather. But yeah, that should pretty well cover everything here. So this is going to give us 6 more leather and another full heart. So we'll go ahead and claim that, and now it looks like we have making bricks. So where we learn to make bricks. Bricks are made of chiseled stone and mortar. First, you need to craft the bricks. Place rocks in your crafting grid with a chisel to craft. Mortar is crafted in a barrel. Place sand in a barrel of lime water and seal. Each sand will make 16 mortar. In TNFC, what? I think that's supposed to be TFC. You can also make mortar from gypsum. Use NEI to get this recipe. This task can be completed with any rock type. So, first off, we need to get some sand, and I don't think that I have any around here. But then we need to take some rocks, and we have tons of rhyolite rocks, so we're going to go ahead and use those. And we will grab, we will go ahead and grab a chisel, and then we put a chisel with the rocks, and that makes bricks. So we've got 64 bricks. Now I'm going to need to go off and get some sand, but I wanted to show what I've been working on here too. So I put these pieces of wood up here to try to keep my wolves in the hot spring to keep them healed, but of course they kept teleporting out and they ended up dying, unfortunately. It was a very unfortunate thing, but all of my wolves are now dead. But also, looking around the crops here, you can see like these yellow bell peppers are already mature. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab those real quick. And that'll give us the seeds as well as the peppers, and we can stack those together. But we are going to be having quite a bit of harvest here. A lot of this stuff is really close to harvest, and I've actually already pulled up some of the carrots. So yeah, we're getting a lot of harvest, and I have been leveling a very large area out here. And I figured I'd show these. I have no idea where I got these seeds from, but this is industrial hemp from Immersive Engineering, and that gives us, oh, I don't have it with me anymore, but it gives us some type of a rope or something like that. And so, yeah, I had one seed. It's now 2 after 1 harvest, so, I mean, yeah, we're going to be getting some stuff there. But I'm going to go off in the distance here somewhere and go get some sand. I'll make up that mortar, and then I'll be back and we'll continue on with this quest. And so autumn has arrived. This is so pretty, having these gold-colored leaves on the oak trees. But, yeah, that's just another warning to us of how soon we are going to have no food available. So, I collected up a huge amount of sand. I've got 2 stacks in this vessel with my food, and then I've got 5 more stacks in my inventory, so we should have plenty there. And this is going to be perfect for what I've got in mind next, because once I start getting these bricks put together, I think we're going to start making an actual house. So I'm going to get back to the base. I'll get this sand made into mortar, and then we will take a look at making some actual bricks. So I will be back in just a bit. So guys, I now have 64 mortar and 64 bricks. So let's take a look at what's next. So we have brick blocks. Bricks are not affected by gravity, so they are useful for making multi-block structures and houses. Craft a brick block with 5 brick items and 4 mortars. This task will accept bricks made from any rock type. So we need to make 4 bricks. So it said 5 bricks and 4 mortars. But I think I may have that wrong. So let's see here. If we go like this, there we go, and that'll make 4 bricks. So let's take a look here. That's everything. So that's going to give us 4 basalt bricks and a full heart. So we'll go ahead and take that. And now we have the forge, which this is actually a completed quest. So building the forge. The forge multi-block is, in its smallest form, is just a 5 solid non-flammable blocks and either 7 pieces of charcoal or 1 coal block. The solid blocks must surround the forge on bottom and all 4 sides. If you are using charcoal, the 7 pieces of charcoal are placed with right-click. The charcoal coal will make the forge when you light the charcoal with a fire starter or flint and steel. Like fire pits, the forge will be put out by rain. Unlike fire pits, the forge requires a chimney, which is a clear view to sky within 1 block of the forge. This task accepts bricks of any rock type. So we needed 4 basalt bricks and 7 charcoal, and we have all of that. So we get 8 more basalt bricks, a full heart, and then we get a choice of 20 basalt brick items, or 8 native copper, or a quarter of a heart. Now, personally, I think I'm going to take this native copper because these bricks are so easy to make, and I've found a deposit of basalt, even if it's a long ways away. But I have, if we look here, a fair amount of basalt. So if I break these back down, that's 2 stacks, 64 plus 56. So I mean, that's a lot of basalt bricks that I can make. So let's take a look here at what else we've got going on. So now we have basic smithing. So unlike tools, you cannot skip the copper anvil. But don't worry, eventually you will have the technology to reclaim all the metal in your anvil. It is best to be prepared, so before making your ingots, you had best make your first anvil. The Tier 1 anvil is made from a raw igneous stone. Right-click the top of the block with a hammer to form the anvil. To make your copper anvil, you will need enough copper for 14 ingots. Fire vessels full of copper in a kiln along with clay ingot molds. You fill the ingot molds the same way as unshaped ingots. The same way as tool molds, sorry. Unlike tool molds, the unshaped ingots will have a temperature. You will need to wait until the ingots solidify to remove them from the mold. You will also get your molds back. But there is a chance they will break, which I've already had one break, so yep, I know all about that. Don't let those hot ingots cool too fast, as you will need them hot to weld them. Otherwise, you will need to reheat them in a forge. So, we need 14 copper ingots, and right now, I'm not too concerned about that. I do have a fair amount of copper here somewhere. Yeah, I've got a full vessel here, most of a vessel here, but I think we're going to go ahead and stop on the questing for a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and move on to other things. So, we do have a couple of things here. I'm going to pull these out and go ahead and switch that over real quick. And we're already up to 17 leather, so that's going to go quite a ways. But what I'd like to do now is I would like to start work on a house. But I suppose the first thing that I ought to do is kind of lay out where this is going to be. And boy, we are really coming close on some of these crops. I hope they make it. But what I want to do, I want to have my garden here surrounded by water so that I can have irrigated ground. Now, I'm going to have to make a water channel right here, and then I'm going to put a little bit more farmland over here. Now, of course, I'm just filling this in completely. This is a good use for all the dirt that I'm getting from leveling the terrain around here. But I think what I want to do is level out a space over here, and that's going to be where I'm going to build my house. But I want to start out with a root cellar or a storage room underneath. So I think I'm going to get working on that. I'll probably use some of the rhyolite bricks for the walls. Let's just take a look at these real quick. So these look fairly similar to just standard stone bricks. If we look at the basalt bricks, they're a nice black, make a really nice contrast if we use the two of them together actually. So I think I'll do a little experimenting with this, see which ones look good together, how I'm going to set this up. And since these are not affected by gravity, I can also put them as a ceiling if I want to. So I'll go ahead and figure all this out, and I will be back in a little bit. So I'm beginning to get this kind of built up here. I'm not sure about having these basalt bricks on the outside. It seems more like a decorative block that I'm probably going to use in interior space. But I'm using these claystone bricks, and I like the way that it looks, but it is kind of bland. I'm just not sure how I'm going to decorate this. But so I've got 2 doors here. This door is going to open out to the outside, and then you can walk straight out to the garden. And then this one is going to open into the kitchen of the house. So, yeah, that seems like a pretty standard way that they would have probably built something like this. But we go downstairs and we get into a space that will be for storage. Now, one thing that you'll notice here is there's no lighting anywhere, but it is bright. So what I have done, I have put a carpenter's block here, and if I break this block, you can see how I did this. So I've got a carpenter's block with a jack-o'-lantern underneath it. So what you can do with these, when you put a carpenter's block down, light can shine through it, no matter what block is placed on top of it. So it allows the light of that jack-o'-lantern to come through and light the area up, and then I can put any block on top to make it look good. Now the same goes with these stairs. I didn't want to sit there and chisel every single block, so what I did is I just made some carpenter's stairs, and then I put the blocks that I wanted. Same with these stairs on top. But one problem that I have run into is I have run out of the smooth rhyolite rocks. So I think I'm going to have to go and do some mining and get that. And I suppose the best place to do that would be just to go down to my copper mine. But I could do it right here. I have, just off the edge of the garden, I have the entrance to my iron mine. So if we go down here, I can kind of show you what I've got going on here. And obviously there's some dark areas down here. I should probably light those up with whatever jack-o'-lanterns instead of the torches that I've been using. But so I have a very large area down here that I have mined up for, I think it's hematite. But as you can see, it's a very dark area down here. Now, I've been having problems with cave-ins because there's a lot of caves around here. But, yeah, you can see I've mined out a large area here. And we've got a cave up there that's dark. You can see the red X's for spawnable spaces. But if we go down one layer, I've got an even larger area mined out here. And I started to learn how to do the mining so that I would harvest as much smooth stone as I could. So you can see the ore here, yeah, it's hematite. But so what I do is I slice the top layer and the bottom layer off of the rock, and then I make a checkerboard pattern inside of that. But I'm not entirely sure which place I'm going to go to, but I will do some mining. This is all caved in really badly. And the biggest problem with cave-ins is if a rock caves in above an ore, it actually will destroy the ores underneath it. And I've lost a lot of iron here from these cave-ins. So, yeah, that kind of stinks, but kind of happens sometimes. But I'm going to go clean out my inventory, and I'll figure out which place I want to mine at. And I will be back when I've got some rocks ready to go. So this is one of those things that I've been waiting for some time. I finally have my green apple harvest here. But unfortunately we have run out of time for today. So if you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to give a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye!